how can 11 men have so much power to decide a young man's mood like this? It's just crazy, man. Because your mood is just dependent on 11 guys out there playing football on the pitch. I get beer while I want to drink this night now. I don't know if that beer will still enter the way it's supposed to enter, following Barca's Clásico defeat at the Bernabéu against Real Madrid today. Disappointing game from Barca, to be honest. Let me not lie, I'm not surprised that we lost, because I kind of was expecting this to happen, because we cooked Madrid a lot last season. We cooked Madrid so much last season. So I'm not really surprised that, of course, they would want to revenge. They would want to, turn things around against Barca. And, of course, they did that today. Congratulations to Real Madrid. They have won El Clásico, and kudos to them. That has helped them to extend their lead at the top of La Liga to 5 points over Barcelona. But, forget how they smile. This match pay me. I'm pained, bro. Like, I'm super hot right now following this Clásico defeat. I know Barca have not been in their best form, of course, but usually in El Clásico, the form guide goes out of the way. To be honest, the form guide goes out of the way. Barca have not been at their best. Madrid have looked so much better this season so far, and today has just confirmed that. Unfortunately, Real Madrid winning the first Clásico of the season 2-1 after 2 first-half goals from Kylian Mbappé and Jude Bellingham, sandwiched between a Férmin Lopez equalizer for Barca. But it's really disappointing that we have had to walk away from the Bernabéu with nothing, absolutely nothing. Remember, we beat Madrid 4 consecutive times last season, guys. So, of course, there would always be that extra motivation on their part, to change their trajectory in these Clásico games. Because last season, Madrid were not present at all in Clásicos. And this season, ideally, naturally, they would want to gain their pound of flesh. And of course, you see that they wanted it so much more than Barca, and eventually they got the win that they deserved. Well, this season has not gone according to plan for Barca so far. But let's not forget, it's just 10 match days so far in La Liga. So we have 28 more match days to go before the La Liga season is over, before anything is decided. And Barca really have to improve. Barca seriously have to improve. We are not playing like the team we were last season. Barca are so far away from the team that we were last season. We've not looked convincing at all. In the first few games of the season, we had a decent start, but in the last few games, starting from that PSG game, Barca have not looked themselves at all. The victories over Girona and Olympiacos, even though we trashed Olympiacos with a high scoreline, we have not looked the same like we were last season. And to be honest, despite the fact that I am totally gutted to lose the Clásico today, I kind of was expecting this result today, guys, because Madrid have looked better in so many aspects this season. There's also the issue of the fact that Barca are dealing with a lot of injuries, guys. A lot of injuries to a lot of our key players. It has affected the team. Like, we can't run away from the fact that the players that Barca are missing through injuries have affected the team. We saw the impact that Joan Garcia had before his injury. He transformed this team. The team was much more defensively solid while Joan Garcia was in goal before that injury. But I'm not saying this from misinterpretation, because Szczesny has not done badly at all. In fact, today in this Clásico, Szczesny was one of our better performers in this Clásico. So I'm not trying to discredit the efforts or performances of Szczesny in the absence of Joan Garcia, but of course, with the quality that Joan Garcia showed last season in Espanyol and so far this season before his injury as a Barca player, Barca have definitely missed Joan Garcia. Another player that we missed so much today was Rafinha, because a lot has been said about the ineffectiveness of the high line this season. We've been exposed by so many of our opponents lately. PSG exposed our high line repeatedly. We saw the same thing against Sevilla. We saw the same thing against Girona, even though we won. And we also saw it in the last game against Olympiacos, even though we thumped them 6-1. So the high line has been problematic for Barca. It has done more harm than good for Barca so far this season, let's be honest. But the truth is, it's not a problem with the high line. It's actually more of a problem with the pressing in front of the high line. And this is where we have missed Rafinha so much, guys. Because for all the goals that Rafinha scores, for all the assists that Rafinha gives, the pressing that Rafinha does for Barca is massively underrated, guys. And Barca have missed that element in their game, because we can't press the opposition high up the pitch as effectively as we do when Rafinha is on the pitch, because he personally leads that pressing from the front. And we have missed Rafinha so much. I can't wait to have Rafinha back on the pitch. Congratulations to Madrid, even though I hate to say this, because there's no football club I hate as much as I hate Real Madrid. But unfortunately, they are the victors today. Clásico victory is theirs, and they have the bragging rights so far. They are top of the table, 5 points ahead of Barça after 10 game weeks in La Liga, and they are looking like they want to reclaim the title from the hands of Barça this season. But like I said, it's still early days in the title race, guys, because nothing has to be taken for granted. Last season, at some points, I think Barça were like 8 points behind Madrid at some point, but eventually Barça did a remontada in the table and we won the title last season. So there are 28 more game weeks to go in this season. So coolers, let's keep our heads high. We've been struggling with both the tactics and injury problems, but it's not the end of the world. There is still a lot more La Liga action to be played this season. Kudos to Madrid. Of course, they are in the driving seat now with a 5 points advantage over us, but it's not over yet, guys. The league is not a sprint. It is a marathon, and Barca still have every chance of clawing back this deficit if Barca can get things right. And like I always say in my videos, there is no man that I trust more than Hansi Flick to revive Barca's fortunes this season in all competitions, not just La Liga, but in all competitions. But I have to add that Kylian Mbappé has been a real thorn in the flesh of Barca. Let's be honest, guys. Kylian Mbappé has been a real thorn in our flesh. While he was in PSG, he did a lot of damage against Barcelona. And since he came to Madrid, despite the fact that Barca won 4 straight Clásicos last season, Kylian Mbappé scored 5 times against Barca last season. So it's very obvious that Kylian Mbappé has Barca's number. Today, he scored again. And he could have been more than one goal, because he scored a goal before he scored his first goal that was ruled out for offside. And if that goal was not ruled out for offside, that would have been one of the best goals that we've seen this season so far, because it was a cracker. So Kylian Mbappé has Barca's number. It pains me to say this, but Kylian Mbappé has really been prolific against Barcelona. And his clinical ability in front of goal does not just end against Barca, because this season Mbappé has been on fire. Last season, he won the Pichichi over Lewandowski. This season, there's clearly not going to be any challenger for Kylian Mbappé when it comes to winning the Pichichi and even possibly the European Golden Boot. Because in 10 games in La Liga so far, Mbappé has scored 11 goals, guys. 11 goals in 10 games in La Liga so far to begin the season. Unfortunate defeat for Barça at the Bernabéu today. But like I said, coolers, we have to keep our heads up. There is still a long way to go in the season, and we have a chance of clawing back the deficit in the title race. Pedri was unfortunately sent off in the dying minutes of the game, and now he's going to miss the game against Elche, but it doesn't matter. I think like Pedri deserved the rest anyway. He needed a rest. Pedri has played so much football over the last 2 years, so Pedri needs a rest and he deserves a rest. So with this red card, it's both a blessing and a curse, because you can't fault the quality of Pedri. But with what he offers Barca, at times we need Pedri to be fresh to offer his best to Barca. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think of Barca's Clásico defeat against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabéu? Do you feel like this win for Madrid has given them an advantage in the title race in terms of the La Liga title, or do you feel like Barca will still have a chance to claw back the deficit when it comes to the La Liga title race? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. But in victory and defeat, as always, Visca el Barça. Adios.